Alrighty. Now, just as usual, everyone roll a d20 to see what happened last time. Or to see who can say what happened last time. 17.
I don't know. Rolling a d20 for our history sounds kind of.
So far, it's Andrew.
Yeah, so far. Unless if someone could get a nat 20.
Or higher. Or 17 or higher.
Hold on, I'm on my way. Oh, come the heck on.
There we go. Joan got a 5. Then we just need...
Alright.
Dylan? Lovely.
Highest goes first. Highest tells the story, I mean, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely.
Unless you don't want to roll. And then those who don't roll, you don't get to go.
6.
Nice.
Right.
Alright, well, I guess I will get to say what happened last time. So from my recollection, what happened last time was everyone was it was in the morning. Everyone was gathered around in near the center of the mansion, the horse stables, and the laborers' barracks, essentially. And Charlie was going to settle the bet that he made with Lord Green that he could wrestle a black bear, in which he failed horribly and nearly got mauled to death by this black bear. But with the help of Joan and the help of Callan, they were able to...
No, it was Liam.
Well, didn't... Hold on.
Leon smacked
Callan, didn't
the
you
bear,
cast a
remember?
spell, or didn't you? No, I know what happened. Hold on. It was Matt. Matt was the one that distracted it, and
Oh, yeah.
after he
I was trying to
distracted
calm it
it,
down.
yeah, you distracted it with your awesome like bluegrass harmonica skills, and then out of nowhere, Leon just gets into this rage from being so upset and lunges forward and just bludgeons this fucking bear until it's unconscious, saving Charlie's life. It was then Callan came to Charlie's rescue and healed him back to consciousness, in which his wife then scolded Charlie for this stupid bet. And she marched him off over to their wagon and their campfire to patch up his wounds with some bandages. Then, after that, Lord Green had... after that, Lord Green had taken Joan into his house, in which they went into the cellar, where there was a strange safe that he unlocked and gave Joan a piece of paper. And this paper would allow her to essentially withdraw a family heirloom, quote-unquote heirloom, that is a sword with magic infused into the blade to make it a more durable piece of weaponry, and also makes it to where it stays sharp constantly. It does not need to be sharpened whatsoever. After that, during that time, I suppose, Mrs. Green had taken Dylan, who was her savior, off to the off into the sea of grass in Lord Green's estate, and had given him the service of a magical horse that has the ability to be summoned and has the ability to teleport him once per day wherever he would like to in the realm, as long as he has been there before. And this horse, whose actual birth name was Peppermint, but his new name is Nathaniel. Which Nathaniel has given Dylan lots of sass. Lots of sass. Which struck some hilarity as they made their way back to Charlie and the rest of Dylan's friends. And just before everyone packed up, the horse, Peppermint, walked off, saying, "Whenever you need me, just say my birth name and I shall come." And everyone was like, "Oh, that's a nice horse. Why is it walking away?" And Dylan was like, "Oh, it's getting some food. It's fine. We can leave." And then everyone just didn't question it from there. And now you guys are off to go back to the King's Road to make your way back to the capital to seek out the Adventures League. So, it takes a couple hours to get to the edge of his estate. And when you get through the gate, somebody roll a d20.
$19.
Nice. Roll me 1d4.
Two.
All right, and then last but not least, roll me another d20.
Nine.
All right, let's see. What is this one?
Uh,
29 goblins.
Nah, only 19.
give him ideas.
So, as you're walking through the grass, let's see. Who has the highest perception here?
I do.
Yeah.
At 4.
Okay. So, Joan, as everyone is walking along with Charlie's wagon, you are the first one to notice that about, I'd say, maybe 100 feet away from you, up on top of a small hill, is what looks to be a male body laying on the ground on top of this small hill.
How far away is this?
100 feet. You are headed northwest, and it's probably north from you.
Does the man appear to be moving at all?
Not from what you can see, no.
That's fine. Are they near a tree, or are they in the field? What's going on?
They're just on top of a hill. So remember, you're outside of his land right now. So the terrain outside of his land is basically just sometimes it's flat land, sometimes there's hills everywhere. You're basically in the terrain where there's like hills spattered here and there, and he's just laying on top of a hill that has just grass in it.
That's fine. Let's keep going. I would like to. I would like to approach. Is this anywhere near where the shambling?
No.
Good. I still have nightmares with that. Let's get closer and see what's going on. I'm not even going to gesture anything to my friends. Just going to walk to the.
Alright, so you guys see Joan just kind of walks off away from the course that Charlie is bringing you. And it is that when you realize the male body that is laying on top of this hill, and Joan is walking towards it.
I go to follow Joan in case something happens.
Leon will stay to the cart.
I'm gonna ready
Just in
my mason shield just in case, and walk with them.
Leon wants to stay near the cart just in case someone tries to ambush it.
Okay. So, Charlie stops, and he just watches very carefully. And Joan, as you get up to the top, you see...
Oh, hold on, before I get to the top.
Okay.
Sorry. How close is Kellen following behind?
He's kind of like right behind, basically.
The minute I notice Kellen is approaching behind me, I just turn around and go, "You wait here, or at least a bit behind me. You're a little loud."
I'm also following.
Okay, I'll just keep like a good 10 feet distance between us.
How about if you'd like to go see what's going on, follow you.
Alright. And then I'd take the lead, I guess.
Let the noisy one go first. So I'll follow Callan about 10 feet behind if he's going toward the hill.
Alright. So, Callan, as you approach the corpse, or the body, yeah, you see that this body is badly torn in its abdomen. It just looks like some sort of creature just ripped this man apart. You also
Can I do
you also notice
can I
that
do a
this
medicine
man
check to see if it's he's still alive or anything?
you can just tell just by looking at him. There's no way he could be alive.
Are you sure we can check his pulse?
So,
It's but a flesh wound.
You notice that this man is not wearing any attire really in the fashion sense of the capital, which is a much more clean type of style. This man, I would say it's more closer to Charlie, where this man's clothing looks more like something that he has had for maybe decades and is a little out of fashion to modern standards.
Interesting.
But you do know that he's not anyone from Porton, because he doesn't wear the attire that most of the slaves that work at Porton wear. And he's definitely not from Seaport, because Seaport citizens are usually they're very tan, and this man is not
Very
like
pale.
pale, but he hasn't seen as much sunlight as someone at Seaport would have.
I see.
And you notice that in his left hand, he is holding really tight. Even still, like there's like a death grip essentially. He's holding onto a piece of parchment.
I'm gonna prise his cold dead hands off the piece of paper.
All right, you do so, and when you open up the parchment, you notice that it is a letter, addressing to the king or whoever with authority is reading this letter about the whereabouts of a wanted criminals. these criminals are said to be cannibals who live in the sinking forest and are dragging people from wherever they can get them into the sinking forest and eating them. And it also reveals that this letter is also a bounty, and whoever kills the leader of this village will be rewarded 500 gold by a man named Samuel. Samuel Lart.
Does that name ring a bell to me?
No.
Okay. I'm going to turn to the rest of my party and says, anyone up for a bounty?
I'm like, I look at him, I look at the dead body, and I look at him, then I look at the dead body, and then I look at him and I'm like, what?
Before I head back to the main party, is the dead man's eyes open or anything?
His eyes his eyes are not open there.
I see.
Are you saying this is our quarry?
I'm gonna put the bounty up in one of my pockets, and then pull out my shovel and start digging like a small shallow grave for it.
I'm sorry, Kellen. You were saying something about a bounty? Is this man the bounty?
I think he might have been trying to look for a bandit captain or something of the sort.
So he's not our quarry.
No, the king is.
The king's our quarry?
The king has a bounty on him?
No. I removed the note again out of my hand it to them for them to read. As I continue digging this man's shallow grave.
I take the letter and I read it aloud so everybody can hear it, you know.
Have I heard of the sinking forest? Like, would I know where to find that?
Yes. Everybody knows that the sinking forest is a large swamp located to the southern coast of Astria. It's notoriously known for being a basically not just a swamp, but a giant sink pit. Really, anything that goes in there, if they don't get killed by the crocodiles that predominantly live and are like on top of the food chain, if they don't die from the crocodiles that hunt around there, they will most likely get stuck in a sinkhole essentially and will be buried underground. So to hear that there is a village that lives in the sinking forest is strange, because it's never really been attempted.
Gotcha.
Will Leon be able to hear them from where he is? Because he's still in the caravan.
Right away.
I mean, I got a pretty well carrying voice. I am a bard.
Yeah, I'd say you would probably hear Dylan.
Does the
Continue.
Oh, I was just gonna Sam, can I check the dead guy's pockets to see if he has any?
Well, let's see. He has a coin purse with 8 gold pieces in it. Other than that, he carries a dagger at his side.
What's his boots looking like? Are they good boots? Are they bad boots?
They are very worn.
Too much.
It's
Hey,
funny.
take a dead man's boots.
Hey man, if you see some nice Gucci or Prada boots, you know.
Hey,
Colin's
they're
gonna take
Jordans.
it. Dude, they're Yeezys. Come on, you can't just pass on Yeezys. Dude.
I was actually thinking about for some reason too. Like it's always a thing. That's always a thing that happens in movies where like take his boots. He's not walking anywhere.
Oh. So Charlie will yell out, "Oi! Is he all right?"
He's
I think he's dead.
Alan grabs his hand, and then the guy, the ripped stomach open.
Leon
Make sure-
attempts to cover the boy's eyes.
Yeah, make sure his kids and wife see that. You know. This is what.
You hear
Cover their line of view.
You hear Charlie go, "Oh, the poor bastard."
And then I'm gonna throw him in my one that I just made, and then start covering with topsoil.
You do know they'll dig him up anyway.
I'm curious though, was it the cannibal? So why would they leave the body? It definitely wasn't a robbery, seeing as he has this 8 gold on him that I quietly put in my pocket.
Dylan, we're nowhere near the sinking forest. I highly doubt it's the cannibal.
But this wasn't like a wild animal attack, probably. What? Wait, does this look like a sword wound, or does this look like a vicious beast kind of like tore him open? Like this might have been the werewolf, for all we know.
Give me a medicine check.
Yes. Another class I thought in college.
Can I do that one as well?
Yes, you can.
Holy crap! That's the only nat 20 I'm.
20.
It's the only nat 20 I'm rolling today.
So that's a total of what? 22?
22.
So Dylan, since you got the nat 20, you notice first. This seems to be it almost looks like something didn't really tear him open, but somehow he got beaten this way. Something had such brute bludgeoning force that it somehow maybe punched this hole right through him, or maybe punched multiple, which tore him open.
Oh God. Lovely.
And besides Joan, what kind of person could punch that hard?
Cough, cough. Cough, cough.
It was Joan the whole time.
More like Leon. Because Leon and Callan went this way earlier. Who knows if Leon didn't just, in the middle of the night, decided to mug a man.
Sometimes you sleepwalk.
Yeah, sleepwalking.
Knew too much.
Sleepwalking Leon.
Also, why was he holding this paper while he was being killed?
Who knows?
Well, I suppose it's possible that he died of other causes and something came along and devoured parts of him later.
Does my medicine check, does that, with my nat 20, can I, tell if that might have been a case?
If something came along and just killed him?
I think she's implying he, died of natural causes or something. Also, why is he on if is he was he a worker for Lord Green? Why was he on Lord Green's land?
We're outside Lord Green's land.
Oh, we're outside of Lord Green's land?
Yes.
Okay. So whatever killed him, he's still relatively, instead of this huge gaping wound, he's still relatively intact. So whatever killed him didn't kill him for food, and it didn't kill him for the notes, it didn't kill him for the gold. I mean, did he have a really nice hat on that we're not seeing?
Maybe
How
his
long has he
boots
been dead?
infuriated people.
I mean, it kind of, okay, hear me out. Can I see, I look at the letter one more time. Am I certain, can I tell if the letter might be a fake? Like if it's not an actual bounty thing?
Give me an insight.
20.
So when you look into this writing, the first thing you notice is that you kind of get a feeling that whoever wrote this was sort of in a panic. They were in a hurry, as it's not really written the neatest way. But it's not like a scribbled jumbled mess. You can tell that this was of a penmanship of an experienced writer, but in their very like I said, rushed penmanship. The name Samuel Lent does kind of ring a bell to you. You feel that you don't know why, but whenever you keep on thinking of the name, you feel that it has something to do with the city seaport.
If we're headed toward the King's Road anyway, why not just take the note to Astra to the adventures?
I don't know. It just seems oddly, obviously not for this guy, but it kind of seems convenient that we found this body with a bounty letter in his rigor mortis hands of a substantial reward. And it wasn't a robbery. Doesn't seem to be like an average animal attack for food. I mean, did he just get into a fight with something?
Whatever fought him won.
Yeah, I mean, unless it died of its wounds somewhere else. Are there signs of a fight around here?
When you look around, the biggest feature that you notice is that there's blood splatter, obviously, but the one big clue that you didn't really notice until you actually started looking was there are imprints into the grass that suggest that something very large was moving up the hill. And when you kind of follow its tracks, it kind of serpentined and then kind of goes and follows a very clumsy straight path going towards the west.
Swamp?
No, that's the south.
Swamp is south.
The west is the green gates. This way. I do not have a compass. I thought I had a compass.
Okay. So apparently this man was attacked by a drunk gorilla who then left him here.
A drunk gorilla?
Who has no value of gold or...
I do think it was some sort of wild animal.
Did the imprints look like somebody was wearing shoes, or do they look like a barefoot kind of thing?
It's strange because the prints basically just kind of look like a really misshapen circle. Like it doesn't even really look like a print of like an animal.
By this time, I think Leon would be on the hill.
Okay. A drunken gorilla with 2 club feet.
Great detective skills.
Could
We're
Leon
gonna need to make
like look at the tracks and try to figure out what exactly it is, even though he's bad at nature?
You can go ahead and make me a nature check.
Okay, cool. Probably not gonna do well in this, but
yeah,
there's nothing.
I have 0 for nature, so nature's not gonna be. I'm not looking for anything. Oh
no, that does nothing.
So a 6.
Yep.
Yeah, not even you can really decipher exactly what prince it would belong to.
I have a question. Are there such things as golems in this world?
As what? So,
like artificial creatures made out of like stone or
okay.
And a combination of technology and magic.
Yeah, it's not that I didn't understand you. It's that you cut out, so I didn't even hear what you said like at all.
Yeah, like golems or golems.
You know that there is research of golems, and they do exist. They were something that humans make, but since they're a more advanced type of study, not a lot of people really know how to use them. In fact, it's you don't even really see them in public. They're more kind of like for high security reasons, mainly for like the king. The college itself, even there's only the professors who really can have like teachings that relate to making constructs are really allowed to use it. Mainly because since these people are very religious when it comes to like life and stuff, they kind of consider this as kind of like creating life in a way. So they kind of see it as kind of like the gray area of forbidden magic, just like raising the dead. So only certain permitted people are allowed to make constructs, mainly for education purposes or for security purposes. But they do exist.
Joking aside, and even though they're very rare, this might be a golem. I mean, I can't think of many natural things that have perfectly circular footprints.
Oh, they're not perfectly circular.
Oh.
They have a circular like foundation, but they're kind of like it's like seeing like a preschooler trying to draw a perfect circle.
Okay.
It's more like just a blob, but it's an attempt of a circle.
It still doesn't look like any like kind of print that an animal would make.
Possibly a rock golem.
Or something.
I'm saying that out of character, not in character, because I don't think my character would know what a golem would be.
Well, it might be some sort of golem. It would explain the odd footprints and the fact that this guy seems like he was beaten to death with something resembling fists, and most people aren't strong enough to do that with their bare hands.
I'm still inclined to think it's some sort of wild animal person.
Oh.
Do I recognize it as an animal with a 5?
You honestly just kind of looking at it, like you can feel that you're not even really sure what it is. You can only guess.
Mm-hmm.
And we could follow the tracks and eventually figure out what had done this.
I mean, that is a possibility. However, this creature, whatever it is seems to be very powerful, and I'm not sure if we would be equipped to deal with it, especially if it's not alone. And usually golems, and if it is a golem, and my hypothesis is correct, usually they're servants of something someone who has at least enough powerful magic to create one, or at least able to afford one. So I don't hear many stories of like rogue golems.
Yes, but if it is a servant, then perhaps whoever sent their servant to go kill this man has something to hide.
I have a question. Has anyone taken the dagger?
I haven't taken the dagger, but I did take the 8 gold. Gonna put that
I'm
on
gonna
this.
have Callan, before he finished burying, take the dagger.
Okay.
I guess never gonna need to know when you need to deal a D4 of piercing damage.
Oh no, I was talking about maybe like using it for some other things. Because since I have no range weapon, I can just throw daggers.
You can use it as
I don't have a
sacrificial
ranged
blade.
weapon, so throwing daggers sounds good.
No! No! How dare you?
Well, I mean, he's in a very we buried him, but in a very shallow grave, and we don't even know his name.
Why would his name matter?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't want to be buried by as a nameless corpse by a bunch of strangers.
It's better than letting him sit in the open to rot.
I mean, should we put up like something like a marker?
We can.
Animals need to eat too.
Is there any like trees or like any stones nearby?
Give me a perception check. You definitely don't see trees.
Ten.
With your perception check, you don't find any rocks that would be really big enough to probably suffice for like a tombstone. You probably see like rocks about as big as your fist, but not very many.
Alright, I'm gonna take a lot of this little about my fist and make a small pile. His head be.
Remember, do a cart.
Yeah.
Good time.
So,
Yeah.
now do you guys just go back with Charlie and head off?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, but quick question. Is the bear still in the cart?
yes. I'm pretty sure we put it there back in the cage.
Yes.
Well, we're so far out, we could just let him go now.
I mean, we should probably. I mean, it's not really the environment for bears. They kind of live in like more wooded areas.
Sure.
I mean, I feel like we should wait till like we're next to a forest or something.
I was just thinking, soon he's going to wake up.
I assumed your audio was awake.
Hey, we can make some bear sausage if we can't find any forest.
Okay, what's your obsession with eating the bear?
If we could not, that would be great.
It's starting to get unbearable.
Unless we plan on taking up the bounty ourselves, perhaps we should deliver it to the Adventures League and they could pass it on to someone who might be in the area.
I feel like that's the least we could do.
Yeah.
Gold is useful, though.
I mean, they might be able to give us some more information.
Possibly.
Are we even is the swamp even on the way of where we are?
No.
Or we have to go even farther out of the
You
way?
would have to go even farther. It would. Let's see. Oh boy.
It's like 2 weeks away.
Oof.
Oh,
have I been before?
Oh. Yeah.
I'm on my...
not go there.
It's about a month travel from here.
Just a silly place.
I mean, I could
It's 33
add
days.
a character. I could do my horse in a day.
You could.
Have you been there?
Have I been? Have I been there?
Probably not. No.
Have I been anywhere nearby?
I would venture to say no.
How about we just don't go to this swamp?
The closest place that you probably have ever been is Seaport.
How far is Seaport from the swamp?
Probably a week.
I mean, it's better than a month.
Yeah, it's about a week. That's if you cross the Gra.
Wherever.
What, you're thinking Dylan's gonna teleport down there, ride for 3 days, get down there, take on the bounty?
I don't know.
I mean more for Matt.
You could have kept it that around Dylan's size.
Not only that, but he would.
We don't have to.
He would have to venture by
Yeah, but-
himself. Well, he could take one person with him, but everyone else would have to go on foot.
I could well, it'd take about 6 days, but I could go back and forth and bring one person, next day go back, next day bring another person, next day go back, and then bring another person.
Well,
It's not
I mean, it's shorter than a month.
Don't forget that it only goes one way, so you would actually have to wait.
Oh.
I know.
People would actually,
A day.
Honestly, at the end of the day, it would probably just be quicker to take half of the party, one person with you, and have the others just travel.
And do recon while everyone else travels.
So, you guys travel. You get through the night. Charlie basically just he'll ask what Joan and Dylan, what you guys were up to, and try to get more details on how everything went, and you can tell him whatever you want. Either way, he respects your decision and is intrigued by every word that you say to him. And now we go to day 2. So let's roll a d20.
I rolled last time, so somebody else roll this time.
Ooh.
Nice.
Oh no!
No.
Nat 20.
That's probably not good.
All right.
Oh,
So I'm gonna try something new. Okay.
Oh god.
Instead of rolling die, what I'm gonna have. So whenever you roll an nat 20, you basically get to choose A, what encounter table you want, and B, what choices out of the encounter table is.
Oh, this is great.
You don't get to know what the table is, and you don't get to know what you choose.
You don't even know, can't give us this is the enemy.
Oh, eventually.
Yes. So.
This is
Thing we get another
So, Joan, do you want table 1, 2, 3, or 4?
Oh, that's not helpful.
Can you at least give them mysterious nicknames that may or may not be good?
Nope.
It's on table number 1.
Nope. The power you get for rolling a nat 20 is being able to choose what table, and then
2.
2? Okay.
Table 2.
Alright, choose
1 to 100?
1 through 5.
1 through 5, 4.
Okay. So, you guys travel through this landscape, and nothing eventful happens on this day.
I mean, that's not bad.
I am the best picker of numbers.
I thought it was something you meet actually Luna herself, just shows up, cackles, and kidnaps one of you.
All right, next person, roll me a d20 for day 3. All right.
Oh god.
Nothing happens.
I don't know any of these numbers.
Nothing happens. I think
Like
next thing
low
you know,
numbers
it's
of
me. It's going to be me who kills
All right,
us
day
all.
4.
Your turn.
15.
All right, nothing happens.
Mm.
I guess you-
Day 5.
We've
It can only be.
we've left. I think we've looped back to me. So 12.
All right, nothing happens. Day 6.
Joan.
This is just adding up. Next thing you know, we have to fight like a dragon or
All right,
something.
day 7.
9.
Don't you dare say that.
Yeah, am I noticing anything nearby while we're traveling, or is it just rolling hills all day?
It's just rolling hills.
Leon is getting nervous.
No big, massive circular footprints by chance?
Nope.
Okay, cool. Just had to make sure.
Next person.
I think it's Zach's turn.
Yeah.
13.
All right. So, by the middle of day 8, you manage to reach the King's Road. And this is where Charlie will say that him and his family are going to part ways with you as they need to go south to go back home. They all wish you a safe trip home, and they hope to see you once again whenever you have the free time.
Wait, what are you gonna... Wait, did at any point during these past 8 days, did we, like, pass some woods or something that we could have released the bear?
No.
Before
We must release the bear now, because...
before we leave them, I'm gonna have Callan. Is there like a piece like a driftwood nearby or something like that? Not driftwood, but like some like a piece of like bark or something nearby the road.
Yeah, you could probably find some from like a past like campfire or something, or like campfire wood from travelers.
While Callan's looking for wood,
Callan takes his knife and carves a little to make the beef gravy and hands it to Charlie's wife, and then asks her not to let Charlie stick his finger in it.
So she looks down at the bark and she looks up at you, and she is like, and what is this?
The recipe for my good ass gravy that we made in Lord Green's land.
You made gravy out of a donkey?
Do you actually say that?
Yes.
Charlie like leans over to the closest person, so whether it be Joan and Dylan, and he Joan, and he goes, that's probably why it tasted like shite.
Do I hear that, or can I roll?
Yeah, you can give me a perception check. I'll have Charlie roll.
Joan chuckles and covers her mouth.
Does Leo get to overhear this?
You hear him say that.
Leon's dying over at the side of the cart.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna grab I'm going to grab good old Charlie.
No. Grabs him and like pulls him back. No, we say this for later.
I'm going to cast Afflict Wound.
No! Whoa!
It's a fail.
Whoa!
All right.
You like made.
All right.
What?
Let's
knock out Callan.
Let's roll initiative.
What?
Let's roll initiative for this.
Dude, you brought it. You like made this from like a 3 to a 10.
1 to 100 real quick. Oh god. Oh.
I know the meaning when Ron Burgundy says, not Ron Burgundy. Yeah, this really got out of hand. I mean, this really.
Not 20.
I mean, this really got out of hand.
Really quickly.
This escalated real quickly. This really got out of hand.
Oh god.
All right. So we have.
No. Oh no. Oh.
just like inflict wounds on it.
I guess we found out who's the chaotic evil here. Holy cow!
Like seriously, like you didn't realize. I'm pretty sure like none of us are gonna be on your side.
Wife and children!
In front of his wife and children and the bear.
That's enough, isn't it?
It only does so much damage.
My heart.
Still.
Think of the children.
Think of
The children!
Oh, think of the children. What would they say if their father just died, hey?
It's like, Jesus.
You killed him!
That's the stupidest reason anybody could die. Is like
Yes.
he quietly insulted my gravy.
Yes, we
And now he dies. I am the he's the Gordon Ramsay paladin. You want your donut?
No, Charlie.
I mean,
Alright, so it's my turn then to start of the initiative turn then.
Yeah.
Well,
No,
first you gotta-
definitely not. It's not as if you have a natural 20 or anything.
Yeah, it's your turn.
Alright, since my inflict wounds didn't work the first time,
Oh, dude, no.
but I know it didn't. Where is it? There we go. With the charisma. That'd be
What
What?
A 13?
for what?
13.
I thought that was a saving throw.
I thought so too.
No.
Nope, inflict wounds is a melee spell attack.
Interesting.
Oh,
Yeah.
so that should...
Okay, so I need to use strength then.
Nope, it's
Alright.
nope. You would use.
No, it's
you
your
would use
spell plus your proficiency.
It's your spell attack bonus. Plus whatever, plus a d20
Okay.
roll.
Plus, yeah. So it'd be like, so that would be a 13?
Yeah.
Okay,
You hit.
this is fine.
A hit? Alright.
No.
No, not.
Why?
He was so good to us. He let us. He invited us into his home and his.
God!
Leon actually liked.
What the flying?
Oh!
So, to set up the scene, you see that Bethany's looking at this recipe and she goes, "What is this?" And he's like, "Oh, I made this my good ass gravy." And then Charlie goes, "That's probably," jokingly, by the way, goes, "That's probably why it tastes like
Obviously.
shit." And then you see your Callan slowly turn, walk up to him intimidatingly, and go lift his hand up in the air,
We got it.
and his palm glows with
Blackness and darkness.
You see that he raises his hand, and when he grabs a hold of Charlie's arm, the veins in all of his body blacken, like
Oh, no.
instantly.
Wait, are you trying to kill
and
him?
his eyes roll as his
Is this a
breath
killer? No,
goes away,
please don't
and he
kill him.
falls off the driver's seat and falls flat on his face. And Bethany screams.
Oh
She
my
screeches at the
God.
top of her lungs.
Oh my god.
Is he dead, by the way?
My god.
Come on, give him saving throws. Like-
Like,
He has kids.
I don't know. That was a lot of overkill.
oh.
I think. I don't know.
Anything else you want to do, Callan?
Is he dead or
Yo. Oh no.
is he
As
alive?
far as you can tell, he's super dead.
Either way, someone's gonna die. 2 people are gonna die now.
This was an unfortunate turn of events.
Yeah, whose fault was
God damn.
that? I mean, you have.
Spell, I'm like, oh, wait a minute.
Dylan, it's your turn.
It's my turn.
No, Callan still has his bonus action and his movement.
I mean, you could say that I choose not to kill him, like it's a melee attack. You could choose to say I choose not to kill him.
Can I do that now?
Choosing.
No?
Yeah, I mean, you technically should have done it before you did it, but you never said explicitly I'm trying to.
Honestly,
yeah.
Honestly, I would usually say that with like magical stuff. For me,
No.
that's like when you use magic, that stuff is so destructive. Where like if it's a weapon, then you can make it non-lethal. But if you use magic,
it kind of like hurts them or it doesn't.
It just either kills them or it doesn't.
Oh no. Callan, what are you gonna do? Choose exactly what you're going to do and do it quickly.
Yeah, because you.
Page 76.
Because there's 3 other people who want to really do something.
I already have my action plan very explicitly.
Like TikTok, motherfucker. Come on.
He just sits here and stalls.
Callan just like says, "Oh shit."
Can choose to run. You can choose to run.
So what are you doing, Callan? You cut off.
I said I'm gonna say "oh shit" and then I'm gonna end my turn.
Oh, you're not gonna run?
Yeah, nope.
Is this just kind of like a, oh shit, or is this like a, you look like mortified and look like you actually like, oh
mortified,
no.
like I just accidentally killed someone.
All right, Dylan.
I run up to the body of Charlie, and I put as much like soul into this, and I cast Cure Wounds on Charlie.
Yeah, do it quick.
You cast Cure Wounds, and you see the glowing light that is Soul's gift to you. Surges
and how are the
through
kids
his
reacting
flesh,
to this?
and Charlie's veins are still blackened. And when the light surrounds the blackened veins, the light dims and fades away. And Charlie still lies there, limp and still.
How are the kids taking this? Oh my god.
The kids, it's not their turn yet. They didn't see this.
I mean, they obviously heard their mother.
I mean, their mom screamed.
Yeah, but they can't see it right now.
Don't let them see it. Don't let them see it. Don't let them see it.
Anything else, Dylan?
I look up at Callan. I haven't known Callan for very long, but I look him dead in the eye, and I'm just like, you. I just look him dead in the eye, and I say, "You evil son of a bitch."
Anything else?
Protect the kids. Protect the kids. The kids.
That's the end of my turn.
No.
Actually, no.
Joan.
Can I use my bonus action to give Bardic Inspiration to Joan?
Oh.
To Joan. Charlie's dead. Okay.
Charlie's gone.
Yes, you can. So, Joan, you have inspiration.
Great.
And now it is your turn.
Well, I was standing next to Charlie because I was going to ask where he lived, but...
He lives in heaven now.
So as Callan has just touched him, Joan is going to spin on her heel and kick Callan high in the chest, trying to kick him to
the what?
ground.
Okay. So is this a shove attack or is this a actual?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to shove him with my foot,
right.
And by like essentially knocking his torso off balance so that he just kind of falls back.
Okay, so this is a contested. I think it's strength.
It's strength and athletics versus athletics or acrobatics.
I have the choice, and he has to go athletics.
You had
No, he has the
He has the
choice.
choice.
Okay.
Because
You have to have
he can
athletics.
either.
Hey.
Oh damn! All right.
Ouch. Athletics.
Or acrobatics, if you choose.
The only way to get
Oh! So
Karma!
Helen, you're just sitting here like, what have I done? Lord Soul, what have I? And like next thing you know, you're just winded on the ground, looking up at the sky. And Joan,
no.
what else do you do?
I would like to flip him onto his back and pull out the rope that had previously bound the werewolf. I think it was the werewolf that I bound, or maybe it was and bind his wrists behind it.
Okay. So it was your action to.
Yeah.
Why don't you try knocking
So
him
you
unconscious?
would need another
first?
action to bind him.
I don't have that. Let me see. One sec.
I mean, it's either.
Can I just sit on his back?
Just punch him unconscious if
Yeah,
you
you
don't
can.
want to
You
kill
can
him.
just sit on his back.
Leon's probably.
I'm just gonna sit on his back.
Alright.
That's fine.
Like put all your.
And start getting my rope out.
You could just like
Leon.
Yeah. So unknown land. Charlie was like the first person he met that he actually kind of liked. So, yeah, he's a little upset, so I would like to rage.
All right, so you
We may
rage.
actually have a party.
You just. He even let out like a little bear roar.
Yeah,
The
a
bear.
little bear roar.
Oh, I have an idea. Let's put him in the cage with the bear.
I think
Do you really want the
Leon
bear to
has
be dead?
a more bloody idea,
Oh.
to be honest.
So what do you do now, Leon?
Yeah, Leon's gonna kill the dude.
Oh!
All right, so
As Leon starts charging over, I don't know if this would get through the rage or not, but could I say something?
yeah.
I'm
of
pretty
course you
sure.
can say
I mean, you
something.
could say something, of course,
I mean-
but I don't know if it's gonna work.
Andrew?
Yeah, you can say something.
I just hold out my hand toward Leon, and I assume an upraised war axe. Stop! Stop! Enough have died today.
Nah, I'm pretty sure we could have one more out of character.
Could have
No, that would have been cool if Dylan is like crying and he goes, "I'm sure we can handle one more."
You know what? Actually, I'm not even gonna cry. I'm gonna say that with like as angry. Like I've never shown this amount of anger. I say that out loud. No, I'm sure the universe can stand one more.
Leon doesn't think he's worthy enough to get killed with a great sword, so he's going to take him out with hand axe.
All right,
Ooh.
so
Simple
pull
weapon.
out your hand axe and make your attack with your attack action, and you get advantage since he's prone.
Oh no.
Plus, I'm raging, so that adds stuff.
Yeah, if you want to do reckless attack, you could do that.
Well, it wouldn't give you any bonus because you can't get double advantage.
Yeah.
All right. Does a 16 hit, Callan?
16 on my armor class?
Yes.
Or no, that
Just misses, right?
Wait, what is your armor class?
Don't I have
19.
2 hand axes?
Yes, you do.
I don't think you have your shield. I don't know. Does the shield apply when you're prone on the
Yeah, it
ground?
does.
I have 2 hand axes.
But did he have a shield out though?
My shield would be on my back, and
I
currently
have
I'm
2
sitting
hand
on-
axes.
I'm on my back, so
Fair enough.
Fair enough.
So, but it would still be a 17.
So we'll just have the
19.
shield ply because it's on his back and his back is facing up.
Mhm.
So you bring your hand axe down and you actually hit his shield on his back, and you can technically take another attack with your bonus action, but since you raged, you don't have a bonus action to attack with your other hand axe.
Well, actually, yeah. Okay. Next turn.
Either way, someone else is probably going to die Yeah.
So, Callan, it is your turn.
Oh, really?
Remember, it's an action to get up, isn't it?
Well, half your movement.
So, what's
she's on
gonna
his
happen?
back,
What's
so-
gonna happen is that he's gonna have to make a. He's basically gonna have to do the shove action in order to shove her off.
Or
Yeah.
If he wants her
I
off or
got
wants to
some.
get up.
I got a better idea.
Fireball 5th level.
No, that's not it.
Oh, that's no fun.
I don't have fireball.
Again, no fun.
No, if you're going to do what I think you're going to do, I swear, Leon's going to kill you. You have what I think you have.
I'm going to cast command on Joan to
Okay.
to drop, I guess. Not well, more like flee, but not too far.
You're gonna cast this on who?
Joan, who's sitting on me, correct?
You're going to ask her to drop?
No, flee. Is in like.
Oh,
get off
okay.
me.
Joan, don't forget, you still have my bardic inspiration.
Thank
So
you.
I need to roll a 20 and then plus my spell
Nope.
attack, correct?
No, command's a
is
saving
a
throw.
saving throw. I believe it's wisdom.
Alright.
Yeah, I'd like to use a D4. No, I don't think.
It should be a D6, isn't it?
Oh, is it? Is your bardic inspiration D4 or D6?
Dylan?
D6.
D6, okay.
D6.
Roll a D6.
Alright, so 12 total.
12 total.
What's your saving throw?
My spell saving throw is a 13.
Womp womp.
Alright, so you get the instant urge that you need to flee.
On your next
On
turn.
your next turn.
On my next turn, okay.
Yeah.
It's just unfortunate because I was actually planning on trying to stop Leon, but oh well.
So,
Sorry.
anything else, Callan? That was your action?
I'm gonna stand up and say.
Well,
You
I'm
can't
still
stand
on
up.
top.
She's still on you.
Oh, I thought it. Oh, okay.
On my next turn, I flee.
Oh. Can I reach my pack and pull out my rope?
You're on the ground, face first.
Tie me up. I'll enjoy it.
Yeah,
Stop.
no.
Dylan.
And then I'm ending my turn.
This won't be enjoyable, trust me.
Oh my god. Jeez, is there like a go back in time spell?
There
I know,
is,
right?
But nobody here knows it.
I'm only
know
level
what?
3. I don't even have Revivify yet. I don't even think I could get Revivify actually. Yeah, probably not. I don't have diamonds either.
Can Leon say something to Dylan?
Yeah.
Sure.
Leon turns to Dylan and says that if we can tie him up, then we can hook him up to your horse and give him let him have a ride, if you know what I mean.
Oh, wow. I get what you're trying to do.
This is brutal.
Things like this hit a little too close to home for Liam, so...
I don't have a lot of offensive things I can do. I'm going to use. I can't. Let's see here. Can I see his? Okay.
Dude, I'm still upset. Oh my god.
I'm upset too. I'm going to cast. This isn't even a. I'm going to cast Hideous Laughter on Callan.
All right.
Wisdom, I'm guessing, correct?
Yeah.
That's a
Failed.
10. Yep.
All right. So you are incapacitated and you are unable to stand up for the duration.
All right.
At the end of each of your
Makes my
turn,
job that much
at the end
easier.
of each of your turn, and each time you take damage, you can make another Wisdom saving throw.
Would it be an action to take away his holy symbol?
I would say yes.
Okay. Well, then on my bonus action, I'm going to give Bardic Inspiration to Leon, obviously.
All
Yes.
right. Joan.
I stand off of Callan, and I look down at Callan, a person I just met, and I look over at Charlie, a person I've known for a while, and my friend, and I just can't handle it. And I turn and flee to the southeast.
Oh.
I'm not.
So,
we're not actually. Well, we're not upset with you because we know it was like the magic happening.
go ahead.
Do I have to take the dash action, or do I just move my normal move?
I mean,
I think
I don't think you.
I think all the command spell says is that you basically have to do what it says with what they command you to do until it's fulfilled.
Like, I think
But
you can interpret it as reasonably as you could say flee. It doesn't say you have to flee. He only gets one word. It's you don't have to follow it to the best. You don't have to be like a. You could be like a genie and like sort of like kind of like twist it as much as you want.
Okay. I move 45 feet to the southwest and just do my thing.
All right, go ahead and move.
He didn't say that you couldn't like throw something at him after you leave.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I'm fleeing. Do I make a saving throw at the end of every turn or anything? Am I just under its effect for a while?
No, it's only one turn.
Yeah.
Oh, one turn? Okay, it's cool. I'm 45 feet away to the southwest. Done.
All right, you want to move your token?
But didn't he
Sure.
tell Joan not to go far?
Yeah.
Word though.
Yeah.
Flee.
Approach, drop, flee, grovel, halt.
Well, you could be creative with it and like just like come up with another word, but that's the main words to choose from.
Yeah.
All right, so you use your movement to flee, and eventually your mind kind of settles back to you, and you're like, "Wait, what the hell? What am I doing?"
Pretty much. What am I doing with my life? Existential crisis over here. Alright, that's it. That's my turn.
Nice. Now I still have my rage, right?
Yeah.
All right, so yep, it's your turn, Leon.
What's the thing? Reckless attack?
Well, you don't need to. He's already on the ground.
Oh, true.
You already have advantage.
Yeah, okay, so still don't think he's worthy of the great sword, even though it would kill him faster. He doesn't deserve it.
He doesn't deserve a quick death.
No, he doesn't. So take 2 attacks.
Yep, so you use your action.
With the great
You
hand
would use your action for your first attack, so you would make an attack roll with the hand axe.
With advantage.
Nice. So 24 does hit, so
Oh.
roll your damage.
Okay. Still the same thing,
Yep,
right?
and then Callan, you get to make a wisdom saving throw. And
Actually, he's going to make 2 wisdom saving throws.
Oh yeah, because 2 attacks.
Yeah, he gets out.
he
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
That's
He's not
for sure.
Yeah, you would also.
Okay, how much damage did he take though?
She didn't.
That was my first save yet.
Well, plus he also gets advantage too if he takes damage.
Oh, true.
So the first one would have made it anyways. So you gotta.
But he's still,
Alright, so my
he's still be on the
roll for
ground.
damage, Leon.
Didn't I already roll for damage up
Nope,
here?
you have to click on hand axe.
You have to click on hand axe.
On the roll.
Just click on it. Sorry, hand axe there.
Nope.
No,
See,
click
see
on
where it says
hand axe in
the
the
chat box.
A chat box.
Yeah.
Oh no, I don't know what I'm doing. What am I doing in my life?
What?
So where it says where you rolled a 6 or 8, at the very bottom of that box it says hand axe. When you click on it, boom, rolls damage.
Oh, okay.
So 5 slashing, but it would be +2 because you're raging.
Yep.
But that was you, not me.
I mean, I guess you could roll
that as an example.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so just click on hand axe in the chat.
Hand axe.
There you go. So
4
So
slashing.
4 + 2 because you're raging, 6.
Yeah.
So you take 6 points of
6.
slashing damage, and then do that again since you hit him a second time. Nice.
11.
So 11.
So 17 altogether.
So, boom, bam. Actually, wait, hold on. Minus your strength bonus because your bonus action attack doesn't add your ability modifier bonus. So your strength bonus gets subtracted from that. So it's actually 6 damage.
So
Or 8. Yes.
yeah, 8 because you still keep.
Yep.
I mean the.
Does that make sense?
8 plus 14.
All right, 14. How is Callan looking? Yeah, I used my bonus and my action.
Alright.
Alright.
I'm going to pull out my holy symbol, but before I do that, I'm gonna wrap it up to hide the symbol.
Sounds like an action.
And then toss it.
Yeah, that would be
5 feet away from me. All right. That would be a sleight of hand, correct?
Yep.
For the hiding part.
Can Leon say something?
Go ahead.
Cover the kid's eyes.
Anything else, Callan?
What do you mean? Oh, I like I said, I tossed it like 5 feet away from me, and then put my hands up in the air like I surrender. Well, I'm still on the ground, so.
Dylan?
Oh, he surrenders. Funny.
Will you show mercy?
That's funny.
I go over and I pick up the what he tossed.
Did you see him toss?
You didn't.
it?
You didn't see him toss it. He used his sleight of hand to like sneakily toss it as he like raised his hands.
But I can see that he's not holding his.
Exactly.
I have a holy symbol yet.
Well, we know that he casts magic, so he has to have a focus to cast it.
No, what I was wanting, like I had myself muted, but basically what I said was I'm going to cover the holy symbol up first and then toss it, showing that I surrender and I'm throwing it, and then I'm putting my hands up on the ground.
Basically, you're making sure that we didn't see what the holy symbol was, but that you threw it.
Yes.
Okay, so just trying to keep it.
So,
what it was hidden, not the throwing.
You see him throw like a ball of cloth to the side, as like a sign of surrendering.
white cloth for the surrender yield. You can't kill a man if he if he is waving white.
I mean, you also just straight up
that's
murdered someone in cold blood.
Leon,
Yeah, that's not written in stone, buddy.
Leon would like to say something. Do you really think that would stop me?
Ooh.
Ooh. And he already tossed his holy symbol. I go and I grab the. He's on the ground. He's like holding his arms up. So technically, wouldn't attack give advantage?
Sorry, what attack would have advantage? Are you attacking him?
He said he like held his arms up as like surrender. Wouldn't that give advantage?
No, I'm still on the ground holding, but I have arms out in front of me.
I go over and I pick up the cloth that he tossed, and I put that in my pocket, and I just take out my cloak and just use it to cover up the body of Charlie before his kids see it. And I look at Leon and I just say, just do what you think needs to be done.
I don't think things like him should deserve to live in this world.
Maybe not. I'd rather, but I feel like he doesn't. If he deserves to die, he doesn't deserve to die. He deserves to die in front of a crowd.
I very much wouldn't like to make spectacles of people like him. They deserve to die a quiet death so that no one remembers.
At this point, I forgot to mention, Bethany would probably be, like, on her knees next to Charlie crying. And she would kind of interject and say,
I wish for a court.
We should feed him to the bear! Let the bear rip the shreds!
I mean, the bear is kind of hungry.
Well, I'm starting to work on my character.
It's a good idea.
Yep.
Leon turns to Bethany as, like, while still raging, is like saying in a really, really upset voice, is just like, make sure the boys don't see what we're about to do to this thing.
She'll nod and she'll run back to the back of the wagon. And you can hear her, like, yelling at her kids to stay in the wagon. And is there anything else you want to do, Dylan?
Okay.
I picked up the cloth from the ground. I covered up Charlie's body.
You still have an action.
I'm gonna hold my action to cast suggestion if Charlie looks like he's about to, like, make a struggle.
Charlie or Callan?
Not Charlie, Callum, sorry.
What would Joan like to say in all this?
Oh, I just ran away.
Well, you're still 45 feet. You're still, like, with us, all this, and Carl will probably hear all it.
So, Joan, it is your turn.
Great. The debacle going on behind me. I'd like to just slowly walk back and take out my long.
Your longbow?
No, the long sword.
Sword, okay. I heard long and then you cut out.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You want to move your token?
Yeah. So I'm just gonna slowly walk back, and
I suppose so long drawing your character too, Zach. Seriously.
Yeah, I know.
You have to make me go and kill him.
I'm going to look, finally, after looking across the three of them a few times, look at Leon.
Look what?
Lee.
What?
Yeah, you want to say that again?
I really don't think this is the way. Do you?
Don't mind me doing the D4s.
Honestly, at this point, what do you think it is? Do you have a better idea?
I think. I don't entirely know what. I think that this man is very, very hurt, and perhaps we should take him and give him whatever power or being we think would best be able to deal with him.
Leon looks between the sword in her hand and up to her, then down to Kellen. And we'll do it your way. He says as he pulls back his hand axes. You're lucky that she's here. He says to Kellen.
So is it safe to assume that we're out of initiative?
Yep. I hope.
Dylan.
I'm done.
All right.
And strip him of armor.
I think that's a good idea.
And look,
Joan.
sorry.
Joan kneels down next to Cal and then for Callan to stand.
Turns to Dylan and asks, "So what is the way?"
I pull out the and I start on.
Man, everyone's like cutting out all of a sudden.
Did you guys not?
Yeah, just say that again.
I just say, I pull out the bunch of cloth and I say, "That's a damn good question," and I start unraveling.
You see the a necklace with a charm that is the symbol of a sun, which you know is the holy symbol of soul.
But on one side of it, it's cracked in half, as if it was badly damaged from something.
It's a
Maybe the breaking of faith or an oath.
It's a highly damaged but somewhat still intact symbol of soul.
Sorry.
No, I'm saying, which means it was either damaged in a fight, or more likely it was damaged after he broke his oath or a oath of some sort, particularly of the religious variety.
Would Leon, from his backstory, know what that means?
I would say no. This particular thing doesn't really revolve in the religion itself. This is more like a practice of humans. This is a human practice.
So not knowing what that means, Leon turns to Cal and is just like, what are you exactly? Some priest? A pretty weak one, if you ask me, after saying what you did.
Alan?
That's a great question. A few years ago, I would gladly claim that I was a paladin. But now, not even. I'm a murderer more than anything.
Yeah, we can see that.
Out of character. Yeah, no shit.
Would have never guessed. Anyway, I hope you have a good alibi set and ready for when the court deals with you.
What?
Unless
Alibi. Alibi. There's like four eyewitnesses that he murdered somebody. It's not like an alibi.
That's why I said you better have a pretty good one. They had shrooms in their sacks. They were obviously hallucinating, probably.
Like if I killed Charlie, then explain why he's alive behind that door. And we're like, what?
What?
And then Callan casts.
I was gonna say, and then Charlie goes, I fucking gotcha. It's just a prank, bro.
Like Ashton Kutcher comes in out of nowhere, like you just got punked.
If only.
So as you guys are, so I assume that you strip Callan of his belongings then.
Really good.
Just about everything.
Right.
Down to his tidy
So
whities.
while you do so, Bethany comes out from the wagon, and she's going to say that she's going to assume that her and the boys are going to have to travel to the capital with you, since her husband's body will be needed, possibly, as evidence that there was a murder.
I'd be willing to give written statement that I did kill.
Leon honestly doesn't trust you at the moment, especially since he just killed a man.
Bethany goes, she looks at you like, it seems like you had offended her even more, and she goes, you know, you're not making any sense right now. First,
that's good.
You kill me husband because he jokingly said that your gravy tastes like shite. And now, you regret it. What in your bloody mind made you think that was a good idea? My boys no longer have a father to raise them. All because of your fucking gravy. And and you see that she's actually been holding on to your recipe the whole entire time. And she takes your recipe, snaps it in half with her leg, and she throws it at you. Or she tosses it at your feet and she spits on your boots. And she says, I hope that when you die, that Sol himself will burn you with his embrace. And I hope he holds on tightly and shows you that there is no hope that you're going to escape. You're a dirty bastard.
You're right. May I have one request?
No.
No, you fucking don't.
Like we all say that and like
Everyone just
No.
goes, no.
It would even go as far as to say, I do believe you have the right to remain silent.
Hey.
I'd like a fight with the bear.
Why do we have to bring an innocent bear into this?
Bare-fisted, no armor, me and the bear.
Oh.
Imano.
You do not deserve to be killed by such a majestic beast.
Go ahead and give me a persuasion check.
I mean, it's not going to work on us.
Oh, no, it's not on you.
Oh.
You see that when you say this, Bethany stares at you and she nods. All right. Sure. I say we do it. We'll let the bear go out and we'll let him fight it.
I mean, he deserves worse.
I look at the counter persuasion.
Yeah.
I'm going to counter persuade him.
She looks at you, Leon, and she goes, what exactly is worse that the king can do than get mauled by a bear?
This is too quiet. People like this, they need to be made an example of. We could tell the story. He deserves to be dragged through the streets for what he's done. And the bear is wrong to deserve whatever pain this man could inflict on it.
Go ahead and give me a persuasion.
I would like to help with that by saying, plus his name will be shamed for the rest of our known lives.
All right, you have advantage.
Sweet. 20.
You see that she looks down to the ground for like a split second. She nods and she goes, I suppose it's just, I just want to see him suffer.
He will.
In fact,
He will.
if the king decides to put you inside of the torture chamber, I want to be the bloody one that puts you in the damn things. I'll volunteer, if he'd let me.
I'll let you cuff him if you like.
Like, punch him.
By this woman who have just...
First, stab me. If
Do not get to be stabbed, not just yet. So quiet.
stab me.
While he's talking, could I just take a length of rope and just, like, as he's, like, moving his mouth, just, like, gag him?
Yeah. You have him restrained, so you can just gag him. And while you're doing this, you guys hear from the back of the wagon, Mom.
Oh, it's the bear?
What's going on? What are you doing to Colin? And everyone turns and you see both of the boys are kind of like standing kind of out in the open from next to the wagon. And with Dylan's cloak over their father's body, all they see is the cloak, but they can tell that something's under it, and they look very confused. And she goes, you better get your little arses back in the cart. I'ma beat them till they bleed. Now! And they both, like, quickly scurry back into the cart. And she looks at the rest of you, and she says... She looks at Leon. And she looks you up and down and goes, I'll let you carry me husband. I shall drive the cart. We need to get going.
Bethany, would you want a moment to talk with your sons?
No. We need to get going. I'll talk to them once when we get to the city. And she like wipes her eyes, and she hops onto the driver's cart seat, and without any hesitation, she just cracks the reins and the horses start going.
Do we have another horse?
You guys have been walking like next to the wagon the whole time.
I say, hold on a second, and I like, would you, hold on one second, and I just like, I'm gonna run away, I feel like as far out of earshot as I can, and I like gesture him like I'll be right back. And as soon as I'm out of earshot, I say quietly, but not a whisper, peppermint.
All right.
I'd like to do a perception check.
He says he's doing it out of earshot. So unless if you follow him, you won't be able to hear it.
A body, so.
So you say that, and you stand there, and all you hear is like the sound of the slight breeze, and then you hear in your head, hello, and you look around, and behind you there's Peppermint in his ivory white glory. What do you want?
I need your help. I need you to stick with me as I'm on my way back to the capital. There's one of the people I traveled with turned out to be a psychotic ex-soul paladin. And in a fit of his insanity, at a very little prodding, murdered my friend Charlie. And I don't. And we've bound and gagged the person. His name's Callan, and since we don't really trust him to walk by himself, I was wanting to put him on your back and tie him to your saddle so he can't get away.
The majestic white horse just kind of stares at you and blinks a couple times, and he says, "So you want me to carry a madman upon my back?"
I will be by you the entire time, and he is well tied up and gagged. And if he even looks like he's about to be escaped from his reins, I promise I will put him down like the rabid dog he is.
Well,
I made a promise to you, Nathaniel, and I intend to keep it.
Well, I suppose I have no choice. You are my master now. Lead me to him.
Okay. But did they all see like horse appear out of?
No. We'll say that you made sure that you were pretty far away. When you walk back, you guys see that there's he's walking with the white horse, and you guys recognize it as Nathaniel, his horse.
And I just look at Leon and just like, Leon, help me get Callan on the horse. After I'm not even gonna sit him on the saddle, I'm just gonna put him like on his stomach and like sort of tie him that way. Like,
you've got to tie him onto me too. Jeez.
I'm tying him to the saddle. It's okay.
This wasn't already uncomfortable enough.
I'm sorry. When we get back to the city, I'll make sure to get plenty of. What do you like to eat?
Preferably, I like myself, what you would probably call it. Well, maybe not you, but from a tongue very similar to yours, it's good berries. I really like a good berry tart. That sounds delightful, actually.
Well, I'm sure I could find a pastry chef who would. And once we get back to.
Callan just shakes
his head and what?
He just shakes his head.
Out of character, I know that a good berry is like a. point back. And did you
Um.
find a good berry?
You would know what a good berry is. You know that it's a fruit that is summoned or it is created via a spell.
Well, I go to a college of magical people. I'm sure somewhere in the capital city, like one of the biggest cities in the continent, there's somewhere I could find good berry tarts.
Nathaniel says, "Well, that I suppose would be suffice on repaying me for this."
Hmm. Oh, by the way, uh, um, this is Nathaniel.
Joan nods. Dubing.
Leon says to Nathaniel, whatever it's worth for your help.
Leon and Joan, you notice that the horse stares at you with this kind of uncomfortable blank stare for a couple seconds. And unlike normal horses, since they don't exactly really stare for an intent, they just usually a quote-unquote stare is just because they happen to look that way. This horse looks to be purposely staring at you.
Yeah, doesn't Leon know what Nathaniel is?
You and Joan do.
I do not.
Don't?
I didn't think I did.
Yeah, I think.
Okay, it might have just been Leon.
I think.
Oh, yes. I mean, yeah.
That's fine.
Anyway, after I get him tied to the saddle, I guess we all start trying to catch up with Bethany. Hey, how much money did Callan have on his possession?
15 gold.
Ways it's 5 for
Um,
each.
No, I have 15 because of my background.
Yeah, but she's saying that if they split it between the three, it's 5 each.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, do you think we should give this to Bethany? I'm not sure how much a funeral costs, but anyway, we could make it less of a burden on her. Would be
Nathaniel
better.
immediately kind of says in her head, "Oh yes, that's such a great trade-off for her husband. 15 gold pieces. Oh, your husband just died. Here's 5 small little circular pieces of gold. I'm sorry." Humans have an interesting way of mourning and grieving.
I'm not. This isn't to repay. I'm not making up for anything. I'm just saying that he deserves a funeral, and what she shouldn't have to spend any more money than she has to on the funeral as possible. She's been through enough. It's not saying it'll make up anything. I'm just saying whatever little bit we could do to help.
I imagine like you guys like Dylan is like talking, and then all of a sudden you see he's slowly snapping, like looks at his horse with like this stare.
Leon understands what's going on. I mean, like Leon put in some money for Bethany, but I don't think he has any.
Well, let's say I have 15. Right now we're sitting at 15 gold plus the 8 gold I found from the dead guy. Did you beat Cassie?
Yeah.
Yeah. How long are you going to be done? Why don't you go and take a break right now? Well, yeah, anyway, so plus whatever, so right now I have 8 gold, plus you have the 15 gold we got from Callan, plus however much gold you two had beforehand.
Leon would like to say, I currently do not have money on me. because I do not see any gold in his item inventory, in his equipment. He has none.
Well, you should have started with it, unless you spent it all to buy stuff. You should have at least a little starting gold from whatever your background was.
Oh no, that's a question for DM. DM?
10 gold.
10. Okay, he gives all 10 to Dylan for Bethany.
Oh, thank you. I hold on to it. I just imagine you're I'm pretty sure I don't. I'm pretty sure I don't have any. I think pull it out. It was what is this? Where did this come from?
It's like that rich friend.
This wasn't there before.
That rich friend where it's like, hey man, do you have any, or do you have a 20 that I can borrow? All I have is this. Pulls out a $100 bill. No, pulls out a whole wad of bills from wallet. Set wad has all of 100 bills. All I have is 100. Fuck you.
I don't know.
Leon doesn't understand how money works.
I don't know, man. Let me check my wallet. Pulls out a briefcase, opens it up, stacks of $100 bills. And there's a weird blood-looking stain on the money, and you're just talk about that.
Alright, so unless if there's anything else that you guys would like to RP during this day, before we end, I would like to fast forward it to the night, towards the night. So
okay. Just so you know, Leon's been watching the money like a hawk to make sure that you don't keep it for yourself.
I'm not gonna keep it from. I'm not that kind of guy. I might take money from a dead body, but why doesn't she trust me?
Because he just met you,
That's fair.
Ago.
But I'm not the least trustworthy. I'm not the least trustworthy member of this party.
Definitely not.
I was gonna say Joan is watching Callan, regardless though, until we have a plan.
So
I'm in.
You guys, it's getting close to sunset, and Bethany doesn't look like she's showing signs of slowdown. But of course, you guys think it's probably wiser that you settle down and sleep for the night. But eventually, as she keeps going and trying to convince her, you guys see probably at least almost 200 feet north of you, off of the side of the trail a little bit, is what looks to be a figure sitting next to a small campfire. And Bethany does not seem like she wants to stop. She says we should keep going until it's pitch black and then we can stop.
Bethany, your kids need to sleep.
Bethany. I look at her and lightly as possible, Bethany. I understand at least somewhat what you mean, but it's not healthy, and I don't think. And he wouldn't have wanted you to kill yourself doing this. He would want you to take care of yourself, and it would give you time to explain to your sons what happened. And I'm sure they're extremely confused right now. And this seems, honestly, I don't think we're going to find a better place to camp by the time it gets pitch black.
She stops the horses and she sighs and she nods and her eyes start to tear up again, and she just kind of drops the reins in defeat, and she stands up, walks behind the carriage, and around this point, those of you who are more paying attention to not to this, you see the figure with the campfire puts out the campfire and starts to approach you.
Leon is immediately who on defensive mode, immediately.
After I see that Bethany went to stopped raining, I turn my attention back to the figure and just keep an eye on him as he comes closer to us. I don't reach for my weapon or anything. I just keep a healthy eye on him.
While he's approaching, like to gently lay down the corpse of Charlie and prop him against the cart.
Okay.
To greet this on the road.
All right. So when the figure gets close enough to where you can start to see some more intricate details about his figure, he's probably about 5'11", average, like medium-sized build. He's not super large. He's not fat, but he's not super skinny. At least far as what you can tell. He is wearing heavy amounts of clothing. Not clothing, but he's wearing what looks to be very tattered plate armor. You can tell so mainly because of his hands are covered in gauntlets. However, the rest of his body is covered by a very tattered and worn and slightly burnt robe, and a hood is over his head. And as he gets closer, you can hear the sound of his plate rubbing and clashing and clicking up against itself. And when he gets probably about 30 feet, he stops, and he says, "Good evening. Might I set up my camp with you?"
So, we're currently carrying a criminal with us, if you would be comfortable with that.
And a corpse.
And a corpse.
I'm fine with both.
What's your name, stranger?
The name is Nora. Nora Los.
Nora Los. Okay. Where are you from?
My family and I, our whole family has built a little community off to the eastern side of the continent. But I had traveled to Porton to visit my family, as they are working for my lord. And now I'm going to the city, to the capital, to possibly be enlisted into the militia, into the military.
Well, as fate may have it, we're also heading towards the capital.
I think she would guess that from the fact that we're carrying a criminal.
Just clarifying it. Just clarifying.
Oh, I am not a female.
Oh, I apologize.
How dare you assume my gender? No, he doesn't say that. He says, you see that at this point, like, he also carries a pack, and I also forgot to mention, the wood that he was burning, he does, like, cradle it in with one arm, and he neatly sets it off to the side, and he snaps his gauntleted fingers, and it immediately lights up a small flame. And he then sits down on the ground and just stares at the fire. And at this point, when you see this, the fire actually illuminates the shadows that shroud his face in his hood, and you see that he's a decently young man, possibly in his early 20s. He couldn't be at least past his late 20s. And you see that he has these azul blue eyes, and he has this blonde hair where his bangs part at the middle of his temple and kind of just are brushed off to the side. And he just kind of stares at the fire with this blank expression. And you also see from his robe the signs of what looks to be a weapon that's kind of tucked under it, but you can't quite decipher what kind of weapon it is.
Oh, it's pretty obvious what Leon's carrying.
No, go ahead.
Nah, I forgot. Oh. Go.
He'll say, if any of you wish to, you can join me. There's plenty of room by the fire. I would like the company.
I walk over and sit with Nora.
I apologize. I don't remember giving you my name. I am Leon.
He nods.
Where did you say your friend?
So what'd you say where you were from?
Leon, after feeling uncomfortable.
Yeah, where is he heading to?
He says, I'm heading to the capital.
May I inquire as to your business in the capital?
I said I was going to join the military.
But why are you seeking them?
Why are you seeking out what? You cut out.
Why are you seeking them out?
He says, well, since my family is now in servitude of the Lord of Porton, I'm the only one left in this little community that my family has made. And I figured I would much rather join a greater cause for this country than just sit around in the empty homes that my family has built.
That's fair.
And after getting socially awkward, he goes back to Charlie to relocate him for the night. I was assuming that they'll pull the caravan off to the side of the road. Right?
Yeah, Bethany would have done that. And when Bethany eventually joins, the boys do not. They do not come out from the wagon. And Bethany just kind of looks at this figure, and she says, "Who's this?"
He's a new friend. His name is Nora.
He
Acquaintance.
He looks up at her and nods and says, "Madam, I..." and she goes, she just kind of like looks at him and obviously is very uncomfortable, but she sits down next to Joan and starts to warm up her hands as the night grows darker and colder.
Leon will take watch at the end of the caravan after relocating Charlie to not only make sure the boys are okay, but to also watch Callan because, you know, he's still around.
Speaking of Callan, I want you to give me an insight check.
Oh. Alright. Oh. Insight was wisdom. I don't think I changed anything on my wisdom, so.
Oh.
There you go.
So you're like on top of Nathaniel, kind of sitting on your stomach, and you're probably off in the darkness so that you can suffer in the cold. And as you're kind of watching as everyone's like awkwardly sitting around the fire, you look at the stranger and something clicks. This urge, this familiarity with this stranger. And as you watch him, he readjusts himself, and you just see the faint glimmer of gold from under his robe to his side. And you notice that the gold is a hilt of a blade. The hilt is in the shape of a bird spread out as if ready to fly, and has the eye of that of a ruby. And when you see this, your instincts from your paladin days immediately kick in, and you start to panic as you realize that what accompanies your allies is your sworn enemy. And that is where we'll end it for tonight.
Start bucking. Okay.
Ah! Pretty good.
Nice. Do I still need
Should've-
to create my new character? No.
I mean, you can, but that doesn't mean that you'll get to play him. There's still a chance that Corin could survive.
Callan's still alive.
No. I don't think that's gonna happen.
Fuck, that's a good idea.
So, next time on Rollback Sundays, we will get to figure out more about Callan and more about this stranger.
Oh.
Is he friend? Is he foe? Depends on who you ask.
Callan, not so much.
Callan did beat Charlie's face in.
Well,
The enemy of my enemy is my friend.
I just meant it was foretold.
All right.
Next thing you know, we just help this guy because he might be the arsonist. We help the arsonist. We are now the bad guys.
Yeah, if you if you help the arsonist, then you even have more enemies with Callan.
A little bit.
All right. So, let's all say goodbye to the people.
Goodbye.
See
Bye.
everybody next week.